Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on Superman and Lois. And yeah, this is my first video on Superman and Lois Season 2, and it most certainly won't be the last, because Superman and Lois Season 2 is just over 1 week away from the time I'm recording this video, and obviously I will be doing episode review and breakdowns for it. But since I did not really do a Superman and Lois video for a while, I thought of doing this video going over multiple theories I have related to the season. We do also have some promo images to go over for this video as well, which is from the first episode of the season. And we do also have a couple of shots of a returning character from the Arrowverse coming back. So yeah, we have a lot of interesting stuff taking place, which I cannot wait to talk about. But before I go over anything, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. Okay, so firstly I would like to go over this theory about Jordan Kent and him becoming Superboy. So yeah, during Superman and Lois Season 1, we did get this pretty massive twist between the brothers, where we ended up having Jordan Kent being the one inheriting the Kryptonian abilities from his father, where most of us expected Jonathan Kent being the one getting the Kryptonian abilities. But yeah, throughout Superman and Lois Season 1, we did obviously see Jordan struggling to control his abilities, and as the season progressed, he was getting more and more confident with them. We did have Clark training him a couple of times with controlling his abilities as well, and in the final few episodes of the season, he was somewhat able to control his abilities. He was getting a bit more confident with them. So yeah, he did already start to use more of his abilities, and there's no doubt that we will be seeing more of this continue this season as well. Maybe when Zeta Rho was inside his body during the season 1 finale, he was able to properly master most of his abilities, so maybe there is a possibility that Jordan has more knowledge and has more control over his abilities based on that as well. So I think that there is a very high chance we will be getting more Superboy setups this season, and eventually towards the end of the season, maybe he could actually end up becoming Superboy. We could potentially see him doing his own superhero stuff behind his parents' back this season. That would be something very interesting to see. And obviously that would establish more of a Superboy setup properly as well. So yeah, we could have him doing this superhero stuff behind his parents' back, and maybe eventually they figure out, and then they'll be very apprehensive towards this because their son's literally putting his life on the line by going out there in the field. And yes, I know he is a Kryptonian, but there are still many dangerous threats out there. So maybe that could be a whole season long storyline we could potentially end up getting, and then eventually by the end of the season he becomes Superboy. Now, I do have another theory, but it is related to one of the promo images, so I'll be going into that topic when I go over the promo images. But yeah, breaking down the promo images for the first episode titled What Lies Beneath. So firstly, we have the shot of Clark Kent, and over here he is actually in the Cushing house and he's talking with Kyle. I do really like how we're getting more Kyle Cushing and Clark Kent scenes for this season, because from what I remember, we didn't really get much from season 1 between the two. We mainly got scenes between Lois and Kyle, but we never got to see Clark and Kyle as far as I remember. But yeah, they seem to be preparing for a family dinner type thing, I guess, because they're obviously invited as guests, and we do have like a couple of glasses on the table. And then most notably, we do see multiple Daniel Hart elect for mayor posters around the household as well. So clearly Kyle found another person to become a big supporter of. It will be interesting to see if this person's also corrupt or not, but I'm sure Kyle has learned his lesson already. But we do also have the shot between Clark and Lana Lang, and obviously they're talking together. And as we can tell, this is later on in the episode, saying that it is a lot darker compared to the shot we had with Kyle Cushing. But yeah, I am glad that we're getting more interactions between Lana and Clark for season 2 as well. Now here's where the next theory begins. So we do have this shot of Superman in the DoD, but yeah, Clark over here is actually interacting with this new lieutenant of the DoD, so he will pretty much be the new General Lane. But yeah, this is Lieutenant Mitch Anderson. And we do have these two bodyguards who are wearing Superman uniforms as well. They're wearing the House of El crest. So it will be interesting to see what is going on over here. Are they trying to prepare an army for Superman to lead, in which obviously Clark will reject it if that is the case? there is also a possibility that these two characters will essentially be super soldiers for the DoD, where they are not necessarily exposed to the Eradicator, but maybe they are exposed to X-Kryptonite, and that gives them certain abilities. Now, this guy, Lieutenant Anderson, is actually a character from the comics, and he is essentially a character known as Outburst. And yes, he is a superhero. He does pretty much have magnetism related powers, so he's pretty much Magneto in a way. Now obviously he doesn't have his powers yet because this is the first time that we'll be seeing the character, so maybe the growth of his abilities will be a season-long storyline which we'll be having, so it will just develop as the season progresses. That's what I'm gonna guess. So I am really interested to see the development this character will go through into becoming the character known as Outburst. Now, Mitch Anderson does have a group known as the Supermen of America, so maybe the people standing behind him are potentially an iteration of that in the Arrowverse, and they're also members in the DoD, but it's only like a certain group of members within the DoD, which is led by Mitch Anderson. That could also be a possibility. Maybe these guys are also brought in just so that they have enough manpower to take down Superman when necessary. From what we can see on the trailer, it doesn't look like Clark and Lieutenant Anderson will be on the same page at all. In fact, it does seem like there will be a lot of falling out between them. It could be that Clark doesn't agree with the way the DoD are operating now that General Samuel Lane is gone and this new person has taken the lead role. Or it could be the other way around, where Mitch Anderson does not like the fact that Clark pretty much doesn't respect him and doesn't listen to him, so they're never on the same page, and that could result to some falling out as well. So maybe what could happen over here is that Clark is not a fan of the DoD creating super soldiers because he wants to prevent something similar happening like last season, where a Kryptonian army could have literally wiped out Metropolis. So he's essentially going to rebel against the idea and maybe destroy all these remaining X-Kryptonites so that no more super soldiers would be created. And this would obviously trigger Mitch Anderson, and then this could establish their rivalry. There is a chance where we could get this big twist where Mitch Anderson actually ends up becoming some sort of an antagonist due to him developing some sort of hatred towards Superman. And as I said, if Clark does actually mess with the experiments and he does actually stop it from happening, that could also establish a rivalry, which does make Mitch Anderson become an antagonist. So it could be possible that they will make Outburst a main villain when he acquires his abilities. Because honestly speaking, I don't know if we will get another Superman ally being added onto the team. We anyways have John Henry Irons assisting Superman whenever he needs help, and that's more than enough. There is also a huge possibility that Jordan is going to finally become Superboy this season as well. They will most probably set something with Jonathan as well. Maybe he will work with John Henry Irons. Maybe he will have some engineering skills and build a super suit of his own. So I don't know if adding another superhero onto this big massive list will make too much sense, and I don't know how they will be able to handle all of these characters if they do add Lieutenant Anderson, aka Outburst, as a superhero. And this is why I think that he will actually end up becoming a main villain, not a superhero, and that will actually be a pretty good twist as well. But we do then have this shot at the Smallville Gazette with Chrissy Beppo interviewing this dude. Obviously, we do know that Chrissy Beppo will be a series regular this season, so yeah, that is something to really look forward to as well. We do also have this shot where Chrissy Beppo does look angry at Lois. She does seem disappointed. It could be that the interview just went bad, or as we know from the trailer, that the arrival of Natalie from John Henry Irons' Earth will be putting this massive toll on her. So maybe Lois is a bit put off guard from her profession due to the shock and stress of Natalie's arrival. So it seems like their partnership will not be going too well, at least from when we pick up. I am very interested to see what else we have in store with Lois's journalism stuff, because it was a really sick storyline last season, and I cannot wait to see what they have in plan for this season. But next up, we do have this shot of John Henry Irons in his caravan. Now, it will be interesting to see his role this season, especially with the arrival of his daughter, Natalie. I am really looking forward to seeing this more father side of him, and I cannot wait to see this father-daughter dynamic that he will be having with Natalie. But also it will be interesting to see if he will be continuing to fight alongside Superman when there's a threat. Maybe he has his own storyline for this season as well. That could also be a possibility. We do also have the shot of Natalie, and it seems like that she will be going to school by the looks of it. From the trailer, we do know that she has been on Earth Prime for a couple of months now, so it is possible that she is going to the same school as both Jordan and Jonathan. I am really looking forward to see how she fits into this world, especially with the fact that her mother's murderer is married to a doppelganger of her mother. Will she try to kill Superman when she finds out that Clark Kent is Superman? Because I doubt she will know at the moment, or maybe she does. I'm not really sure. But obviously, if she does already know that Clark Kent is Superman, then she will obviously be an ally. I am very interested to see what is going on with that as well. Like, how threatened would she feel when she's around Clark's presence? That would be a very interesting thing to explore. But another thing that I'm really looking forward to seeing with Natalie is her dynamic with the two brothers, Jordan and Jonathan. Will they end up becoming good friends, or will Natalie just ignore them and do her own thing? I'm really interested to see what's going on with that as well. In regards to John Henry Irons and Natalie, is there a possibility that we will be having this storyline where they will try to go back to their Earth and pretty much take down this evil Superman, or will they just fully settle into this Earth? That will be an interesting storyline to touch upon as well. Maybe we could have Clark tagging along with them if they are to go to this new Earth, and maybe we could have Clark Kent facing off this evil Superman. I think that's too far-fetched, but it would be really damn cool if we do actually see that. But lastly, we do have a returning character in the Arrowverse, and we do actually have this image of the one and only Lucy Lane. Now, this is obviously the exact same actor who played her back in Supergirl Season 1, and it is just great to see them adding her part of the show, because Superman and Lois felt very disconnected to the Arrowverse last season, and it seemed like they were doing their own thing because they did have deleted scenes involving a photograph of Kara and various other things like that, so it seemed very disconnected because of that. Yes, we did have some references of the multiverse and various other things like that, but we didn't really get anything that showed the connectivity with the Arrowverse other than that. But now having Lucy Lane over here does obviously bring in this connectivity with the Arrowverse. I know the showrunner Todd Helbing did say that Superman and Lois Season 2 will be having a lot more connectivity to the Arrowverse compared to Season 1. So I am really looking forward to what they will do with that. But in regards to Lucy Lane, she will actually be arriving in episode 4 of this season, and she is a recurring character, not a series regular. So from this image, she is obviously talking to her sister Lois Lane, and she's carrying a couple of boxes. So maybe she's moving into the house temporarily, or maybe she's just giving something to her sister, or maybe she's just paying a visit and she's just carrying something with her. I don't know, but yeah, it will be interesting to see if we will find out what Lucy Lane has been up to since we last saw her on Supergirl. And yeah, I'm just really interested to see her dynamic with her sister as well. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Be sure to tell me in the comment section down below what you're most excited for going into Superman and Lois Season 2. I'm interested to see all of your thoughts towards all of this as well. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.